Vertical Jump by Natasha and Holly Smith.
Vertical jump is a fundamental movement skill which involves jumping vertically off the ground using the leg muscle power to reach the highest point from a standstill, and this can be a measure of how high someone can jump. Students stand tall and reach their arms as high as they can, then this is marked as the standing reach height. Students then jump using their leg power and reach as high as they can with one arm to touch the highest point. Teachers that are aiming to teach this skill effectively should be placed in front of the students when demonstrating the skill to individuals. They then should place themselves next to the students and explain proper performance criteria in simple and effective steps. However, this should be done visually, auditory, and kinesthetically so that all children in the class are able to fully understand the concept despite their individual learner identities. Teachers could also make actions and sentences that correlate, such as get your hand to touch the sky, as these concepts are more likely to stick in a child's memory and mind.
It is fundamental to student learning and improvement because it is an essential movement skill that forms the building blocks of more complex and specific sport movement patterns. Stoddard's model suggests that higher competence results in a positive spiral of engagement. Whereas, if a child is unable to learn this skill, it may mean they are less willing to participate in physical education, as they are not confident enough and do not want to look as though they are unable to master a certain skill in front of their classmates. For example, those who are unable to master the vertical jump may not be able to be confident playing sports such as basketball, footy, or activities such as skipping.
This skill should be introduced at the age 5, which is around prep, and should be mastered by the age of 9.
It is vital to learn properly with the 5 correct performance criteria so that the child can learn to play other sports and participate in more complex activities when they grow up, thus building upon the initial skill. This allows the child's knowledge of the skill to be built upon in appropriate timings so that they can understand the concept in an optimal way.
Although learning to vertically jump does not usually require any equipment, there are ways to integrate some apparatus so that the children optimally learn the skill. One example of this is giving each child a small rubber dot they can stand on, the goal being that they can jump off from the dot and land back on it. This is especially important to build the confidence of the student. For more of a challenge, when children are trying to optimally master the skill, a small mat, around half the size of a high jump mat, could be placed next to the children.
Although there are 5 key teaching points that children all must learn to master the skill of the vertical jump, these skills are not taught in order of 1 through 5, rather they are taught through age-appropriate learning.
For example, point number 5, a balanced landing with no more than 1 step in any direction, is taught first instead of last. This point is taught at 5.
Constructive feedback is given throughout this example by the teacher demonstrating the correct way to perform the skill and then giving a thumbs up at the end to congratulate the child. The next point is number 1, eyes focused forwards or upwards throughout the jump, which is taught at age 6.
The next 3 key teaching points are all taught when the children are 9 years old in the order of 4, contact ground with front part of feet and bend knees to absorb force of landing.
Point 2, crouch with knees bent and arms behind body.
And finally, point 3, forceful upwards thrust of arms as legs straighten to take off. There are numerous errors a child can make whilst performing the vertical jump.
The first one is not focusing their eyes in front or upwards of them.
The second one is not bending their knees properly or raising their arms.
Another one is not simultaneously jumping with both feet when lifting off.
The vertical jump, which is a fundamental movement skill, is essential for children to learn and master so they feel confident participating in physical activity as well as sports with their classmates.